Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Well, it's Tuesday when I'm recording this, but probably not when you're watching this. I wanted to record this video today and talk about how I prep for my injection because it's Tuesday and I do my injections on Wednesday nights. So it's a bit dreary here in Pennsylvania today, so I have my hot protein coffee and let's get into it. So when you take your shot and then afterwards, if you're feeling nausea, fatigue, or just like feeling absolutely wrecked after your shot, this video might be for you. When I first started my GLP-1 journey, I thought that those side effects, the nausea, fatigue, etc., were just part of the deal, right? Like they were unavoidable. What I found out later was that your prep beforehand, before, the day of, the day after your shot, really affects your side effects. That doesn't make sense. You can minimize those side effects because the side effects weren't really coming from the medication. They were coming from what I was doing before I was injecting myself with the medication. So once I figured that out, then I started prepping accordingly and prepping my body better for the shot, and everything changed. Now, I just want to reiterate, I am not a doctor, nor do I play one on the internet. I am just sharing my experiences from my journey, and hopefully this can help somebody out if you're struggling too. All right, so let's start with the biggest one, hydration. I'll say it time and time again. I'll probably mention it in every single video that I put out. Hydration is number one, especially the day before, the day of, and the day after your injection. And I don't mean just sipping your water casually throughout the day. I mean actually paying attention and tracking how much water you drink. I mentioned in another video, maybe I'll link it, the 40-ounce tumbler. It's like the Stanley dupe that I use. That's 40 ounces. I try and drink 2 of those a day. That's 80 ounces of water the day before, the day of, and the day after my injection. I do try and drink, 2 of those a day every day. Whether or not that happens, jury's out. But the day before, the day of, and the day after, I make sure to do it. And that really minimizes the fatigue, the nausea, any sort of dehydration, because when you're on this medication, it doesn't trigger your hunger anymore, right? So it also doesn't trigger the fact that you need water. You really need to pay more attention and be proactive with your water. This is what I think a lot of people miss is electrolytes. And I mentioned in my other video, I use the Liquid IV sugar-free peach. It is like the best tasting one that I have found. No weird aftertaste. I usually try and drink one of those before my shot or the day of, and if I miss it, then I definitely drink it the day after, because I noticed that the side effects are worse. I am more tired, more sluggish. I am also prone to migraines. If I am even the slightest bit dehydrated, it triggers a migraine like right then and there. So I always actually have these liquid IVs on hand, in my purse, in my luggage, literally everywhere. I got a migraine on our last vacation towards the end of the week because I wasn't drinking enough water, and it triggered a migraine, and it basically took me out for the entire day. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked talking about migraines, but the electrolytes are definitely going to help you on the GLP-1 journey too, to minimize those side effects. So that one thing alone reduced my post-shot fatigue more than anything else. All right, now I want to talk about food, because this was a huge learning curve for me. The day before my injection and the day of, since I do my injections at night, I keep my meals simple. Simple ingredients, protein first, meals that I know my body can digest and easily digestible. These days are not the days to try out new recipes or eat heavy, greasy food, get, takeout, fast food, or try a new restaurant that I've never tried before. No. Those are not the days to do that. Not at all. Because it will come back to bite you. It's definitely not the day to overeat either. Because early on, I had that mindset of, oh, well, I'm taking my shot tonight, and for the next couple days, I'm not going to be able to enjoy food at all. I'm not going to want food at all, even like looking at it or smelling it. So I might as well get it in while I can. Learn from my experience. You don't want to do that. Because that heavy food is going to sit like a brick in your stomach if you overindulge. It's going to sit like a brick all throughout the night. Will not be the best night's sleep you ever had. And then when you wake up the next morning, it's still going to be sitting like a brick in there. And you're still going to be feeling awful. So now you have to listen, and what I do, I listen to my body's cues. I stop eating at the first sign that I feel full. It's a much better experience. Another thing that I learned is the timing of your last meal, especially the day before and the day of your injection. Again, I'm all basing this off of I take my injections at night, so my dinner that night needs to be a little bit earlier than what we would usually, because I need that window of time for my stomach to digest the food before I, do my injection, and then it just sits there like a brick. And before I paid attention to this, I would just eat at my normal time, I'd do my injection, and I would wake up again with that feeling like I had a brick sitting in my stomach. So it's definitely a learning curve for sure. And I know that might not be the easiest ask, especially if you're making dinner for your family, or you guys, you do sports. I have 2 toddlers, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you do sports, like after school activities, stuff like that, sometimes you have to eat 7, 8 o'clock at night. If that's the case, I would suggest just doing a protein shake, keeping it light, but still getting your protein in, especially those core power, the 42-gram proteins. That's your best bang for your buck there. All right, now this part doesn't get talked about enough, but I think it really affects your journey and how you feel day to day. It is your stress and your sleep. So if you are overstressed and underslept, is that a word? If you don't get enough sleep and you're stressed out, you're going to feel like absolute crap you're just going to feel like crap anyway, even if you weren't on a GLP-1. But adding a GLP-1 amplifies everything to the nth degree. I know this from firsthand experience, especially if you watched my video of my week 2 update, where I couldn't even make it downstairs. I just recorded right where I work remote. We are transitioning my 2-year-old from her toddler bed to her big girl bed on the floor, and she's my Velcro child, so she was making me sleep in that bed with her, at least until she fell asleep. That bed is so uncomfortable, not like me and my husband's bed. I had the worst couple of nights sleep. Because of course, she makes me lay down there with the sound machine and I accidentally fall asleep with her. So half the night I'm sleeping in her room. I wake up at 3 a.m. like all confused, where am I? And I go back to our room. So I think that's what happened in my last video was I was just having such a terrible night's sleep that the side effects from the my injection shot were amplified. Like nothing I've ever felt before. Like such fatigue, no motivation to do anything. Like I said, I literally couldn't even come downstairs to film the video. I just did it sitting where I was. I picked up the phone, like no official setup, nothing. So in order to combat this, I would say earlier bedtime, if that's even possible, for your family or your situation. Less scrolling on your phone at night, which again, I know is impossible, especially for parents, that I feel like that is our only me time and escape from the world is just doom scrolling after the kids go to bed. And giving myself grace, knowing that I might not be as productive the day after my shot. I am fortunate enough that where I can work kind of ahead of myself in the week, because I do my shot on a Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can really work ahead knowing that Thursday, I'm not going to have the motivation. I'm not going to feel good. I'm just going to want to lay down in my bed or lay on the couch, maybe with my laptop, kind of getting bare minimum done. So I can work ahead and plan for that. So if you're struggling with some of those side effects, I definitely suggest taking a look at your level. Again, big ask in this day and age, everybody's stressed out, and also your sleep. What is something that you can do to get a better night's sleep, maybe an extra hour, extra half hour, start with that and see how it goes for you. All right, now what I don't do the day before and the day of my injection, this is just as important as what I do to prep my body. Number 1, no more alcohol. Well, that wasn't a big ask anyway, because I take my shot on a Wednesday, so I'm not really drinking in the middle of the week. I don't really drink at all anyway with 2 toddlers. But also no soda or like carbonation. I cut that out entirely when I started on the GLP-1s again. Again, not a big ask because I only had like one soda a week anyway, like on a Saturday. And number two, having that Last Supper mentality, going back to what I was saying earlier about kind of binging and gorging on everything, trying to get it in before your shot, because then after your shot, you're not going to want to touch anything. This also goes back to just mentality and your mindset in general. I feel like 80% of the work on this shot is in your own mind. I can't say this enough, where it's really a mindset shift that you start to learn through while you're taking the medication, and then once you get off, you have to carry it through. Otherwise, everything that you did during the shot was all for nothing, right? Like, why are you doing this? And that leads into number three, I stop ignoring my body's cues. Again, this is all about relearning your body and reshaping your mind and your mindset around food. You need to stop eating at the first sign that you feel full. Or if a meal sounds like it's going to be heavy, skip it or just cut it in half and see how you feel after eating half. So those were some things that I do to prep my body for injection day, and some things that I don't do anymore. Now going into injection day, I am confident, I know that I'm prepped, and I know that the side effects are really going to be minimized after these things that I've done. I know some of these things are kind of a big ask, especially if you're running a household and have a whole family to take care of. But even just starting with one of these things, I bet you will see a noticeable improvement in some of your side effects. So if any of these tips helped you, give this video a like, because that helps reach others who may be struggling too. And remember, you're not broken, you're not doing it wrong. Sometimes you just need the right prep. If you want my full injection night routine step by step, watch this video next, and I'll see you guys next time.